Hello there, guys. Today we're going to talk about Halloween 2, as you could tell by the title. See, first we're going to go over the plot. The plot of the original is pretty much the same as Stick as the original. Michael Myers gets a knife, stabs people to death, and tries to kill the babysitter he didn't manage to kill at the end of Halloween, at the original Halloween, So yeah, it's pretty much the exact same story as the original, but what do you have to work with a slasher film sequel? But we do get some interesting aspects. Like, for instance, we learn that Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, I tend to say Jamie Lee Curtis because it's a lot freaking easier to remember for some reason. It turns out that Laurie Strode is Michael Myers' little sister. This is the first movie to tell that, even though the other movies after shoved it in our faces. And yeah, that kind of demotes Michael to him being less scary, because this time he actually has a freaking motive. And I can't really remember anything else about the story that stood out. Oh, but here's something special. This is the only sequel that actually had a freaking purpose. And what was that purpose? To end the ties of the original. The original did end on a cliffhanger. Quite a good hangover, I think. Is it hangover or cliff? Oh yeah, cliffhanger, my mistake. And yeah, this one tried to say, fuck you, Hollywood, we are not going to have shitty sequels. We're just going to kill Michael right here, and no more sequels. They tried. They even blew Michael up and showed him a burning corpse. But apparently Hollywood still wanted one thing. Dollar signs. So the plot is really nothing special except that Michael is given a motive and it tries to kill Michael, but not really anything else. And then you have the remake. Yeah, I think 5 words sum it up best about the plot.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, that pretty much sums up the plot of the whole movie. What the hell was that? The plot itself is kind of weird, but then again, I didn't find it that weird. However, though, it did have some weird-ass dream sequences. Oh yeah, scares. I totally forgot about scares. The original Halloween 2 really doesn't have many scares. It's just more as though lame jump scares. It doesn't really try to be scary like the original, but hey, a slasher movie doesn't have to be scary to be entertaining. And then you have the remake of Halloween 2. The thing about this movie is that, unlike its original that pretty much went for the... This movie is a lot more freaking tamed. And sure, that doesn't make it as scary, but at least it makes it a lot more bearable to watch. Sure, I do still like the original remake, but at least toning it down allows us to enjoy it. And the only scary thing about these two movies is Sharon Moon Zombie in the remake. She doesn't give off a really creepy performance, except that she kind of speaks like she's dead, which fits because she is supposed to appear as a ghost. Yeah, ghosts in a Halloween movie. That is really fucking stupid, isn't it? And I'm sorry for the cursing. Here's a bitch slap. Sorry. The only reason why she's creepy is because that she has this long white robe and she has like black mascara around her eyes or something, and yeah, that does actually manage to creep me out a bit. Other than that, there really isn't anything there isn't really anything scary. And now we go on to the characters. When it comes to characters, the original definitely loses. The original characters, well, the best characters in that movie were Sam Loomis and Jamie Lee Curtis, and they were barely on screen in this movie. They tried to give us new characters with no development whatsoever. Now, if this was a typical slasher movie sequel, that I wouldn't really expect much. But this was a sequel to Halloween that actually had good characters. So yeah, characters fall flat in the original. But the remake on the other hand, different story. The remake actually gives us characters. What makes these characters good is that they are changed. They aren't the exact same characters as the original. And yes, this is basic. Daniel Gibner mentioned this in his review of the movie during Cinemassacre's 2011 sequel-a-thon, but he's right. The characters change in this movie. They change. And yeah, that is a good thing for a movie to do. If you're going to have a movie sequel, either further develop the characters or make them change. And now, time to go to the Double M, the Antichrist, Michael Myers. In terms of the original, he's pretty much the same as he is in every sequel except Part 6. That piece of shit! Sorry. Part 6 was really freaking bad. If you have a chance to skip it, skip it. And then you have Michael Myers in the remake. There's not really that much of a difference when it comes to killing, but the one thing that's interesting is that for most of the movie, Michael Myers isn't wearing a mask. That's right. He goes around without something like this. And, not only that, but he actually talks. I'm not joking. This is what he says on the DVD. Just in case you need to hear that again. That's right. Michael Myers spoke. Out of his 31 movie career, he actually, well, 31 means 31 years. In 31 years, the first time he says a word, and it's die. Oh well, you pretty much couldn't predict what else he could say. And yes, I'm basically saying what the video game nerd said. I'm sorry. And now, what else can I say about the movie? Let's see. Characters, plot. What else is there to talk about? Let's see. Characters, plot. Guess there really isn't. But before we leave off, I just want to mention one thing. For some reason, everyone talks about the bar scene, as in the scene when Michael Myers goes to a strip club in Halloween 2, and everyone talks about how unnecessary it is. And yes, but it did serve one good thing. It gave us an example of how the death of the blonde bitch from Jason Takes Manhattan should have died. If you've never seen Jason Takes Manhattan, there's this one really bitchy blonde. And do you know how Jason kills her? Off screen with a piece of glass. But in Halloween 2, Michael Myers gets a woman and does this. Just remember that, Jason. That's how you should have killed the blonde in Part 8. After all, that would have been a lot of freaking better payoff than killing her off screen. Yeah, 8 was really bad. Not as bad as Part 9. And then, So, just to throw in a bonus review, I've already given my synopsis about the Halloween 2, but if I have to say which movie's better, I think the remake actually beats the original Halloween 2 because it adds more to the story and actually has different characters and has actually good characters. So, yeah, the remake surpasses the original in this case. But the original Halloween will still be the best Halloween movie. And because that I've slacked off, today I'm going to discuss another movie that just premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel, Ghost Shark. That is right, Ghost Shark. Now what I have to say about the movie is that the movie itself is not really meant to be that good of a movie. It's just meant to be a fun popcorn movie that's actually entertaining. But, yeah, the movie is entertainingly bad, but you know that's not scary. So, in terms of characters, there's no development for them, but hey, it's not meant to be a good movie, it's just meant to be a so bad it's entertaining movie. And to be honest, this movie's fun to watch. It's fun, especially if you're a shark fan and like to see sharks eat people. And I actually enjoyed this movie. It's good fun. The story itself, nothing special. Characters, nothing special. The movie itself is nothing special. But if I would have to say a plot hole, here it is. The movie is called Ghost Shark, and it's about a shark that can swim in any water. Because apparently, since it's a ghost, that means if it's raining, it can swim through the rain. So then, why isn't everyone in the city already dead? After all, 80% of our bodies are made out of freaking water! Well, if that happened, the movie would be like 10 seconds long. So, yeah, if you want a movie that's entertainingly bad and actually fun to watch, I recommend watching Ghost Shark. It's not really the best movie, but it's at least a fun movie to watch. So, that was my little bonus, and I hope that I see you in my next review. But, the next video on here will be something special.